So there's been a lot of buzz surrounding the SCOTUS decision on the same-sex marriage bill, and I've just been sitting back and observing and listening, and reading, and just seeing what people have to say, their reactions and their responses to it. And I thought what I would do is just kind of give my response to both sides of the spectrum. So I feel like both kind of have their flaws that may need to be addressed. So for the naysayers, what I have to say is I understand that you have a religious view, religious belief, and that's great. We live in America, and we have freedom of speech, we have freedom of religion, so you have the right to speak and disagree with what people have to say, and you're free to voice that opinion, and you also have the right to follow any religion or any doctrine that you choose to follow. But at the same time, America also has a separation between church and state, meaning that although you are free to choose and follow whatever religion that you wish to, the government cannot impose a religious view on its citizens, on you. And so when you look at the issue of same-sex marriage and homosexuality, what other argument is there in opposition to it other than religion? If we just put religion and God to the side, what other argument is there? There really isn't any. And so when you look at it from a political perspective, if the only real argument is a religious one, then the government can't actually use that as a proper foundation for legislation, because that would be unconstitutional. So now, from a personal and religious perspective, you are free to disagree. You're completely free to disagree, but from a governmental perspective, if you're going to pass legislation, it can't be something that's based on any religious view at all. And also, on top of that, I would just say, I don't believe that religion is something that should be legislated or enforced. I feel like if you're going to follow God, don't do it because you feel like you're forced to or you're obligated to or whatever. Do it because you actually choose to. Because God is the God of free will, a God of choice. He doesn't want people to just be forced or feel obligated or tricked into following him. He wants people to freely choose and freely desire to follow him. So when we start to try to enforce things and legislate things like that, it takes the choice out of the equation and just makes it more of an obligation. And God doesn't want people to follow him out of just obligation, out of duty. He wants them to follow him out of a choice, out of their own free will. So, yeah. To the yay-sayers, what I have to say is, I understand the whole crux of your campaign, your movement, is tolerance and acceptance. But it's very difficult to have a message of tolerance and acceptance while also being intolerant of another perspective, right? Of another point of view. So if you're going to have a movement based on acceptance and tolerance, you yourselves have to be open-minded enough to tolerate the other perspective and the other view. And just I feel like one issue that I have is that people view disagreement as hatred. Because I disagree with you, that means I hate you. But that's not really the case. Disagreement does not equal to hatred. If I'm being if I'm being discriminatory, if I'm harassing you, if I'm condemning you, if I'm hurting you in any way, shape, or form, then okay, that can be an argument for hate crime. Okay, there are some people who legitimately do hate gays, and there are people out there. But just because someone says I don't agree with your lifestyle doesn't equate to I hate your guts. There are people who are discriminatory and they're saying hateful things and they're doing hateful things to the homosexual community, and that's a different case. But me just saying, hey, I don't necessarily agree with this, doesn't mean, hey, I hate your life, go die. You know what I mean? That's not the same thing. So, and also back to the naysayers, I'd say it's possible to love someone even if you don't agree with their lifestyle. You don't, just because you love someone doesn't mean that you condone everything that they do. It is possible to love someone and to actually care for someone and befriend someone, even though you may not necessarily agree with all that they stand for and all that they do. So, yeah, and so to the naysayers, I would say, yes, it's your right, you're free to disagree, but at the same time, you shouldn't be judgmental or condescending or condemning or harassing people in any way, shape, or form just because they don't agree with you. And it's also possible to still love and befriend and care for someone even if you don't agree with what their lifestyle is. And same for the naysayers, again, the same way that you are demanding for tolerance, also extend that tolerance to those who may not agree with your stance. And also, just because someone doesn't agree with your stance doesn't equate to them hating you personally. So that's just my thoughts. Yeah, I guess share your thoughts and let me know what you think. And as always, think on these things.